get started. 3 readers for you today, the first of which is Elizabeth Bayou-Grace. She started at the Warren Wilson undergrad creative writing program, finished up there, had a Texan roommate who suggested that she look for graduate programs in, of all places, Texas. So she looked into Texas State's been here for 4 years now, just finished up, and is going to be leaving us for Colorado. So this may be your last time to hear her read. I heard her read at Round Top not too long ago, and it was just amazing. Great. There were a lot of fellowship readers there, but Elizabeth's work really had something going for it, so be ready to experience that. She's also performed at Art Outside, Head for the Hills, and Wakarusa, and of course we wish her all the best of luck in Colorado, but for tonight you get to enjoy her here in Texas. So please welcome Elizabeth Bayou-Grace.
Hi guys, I'm Elizabeth. I'm really excited to be here. Thanks Raha and everything, and I'm a little nervous, so I'm just gonna jump in and do this. This first poem is called Heady Fields. Over heady fields wetted by ice, dawn announces itself hard, quiet. If we had leaned in towards morning, we would have heard the sun break the horizon, sudden snap of a whip, but we would not be torn from night. There's another Elizabeth, ecstatic other self, brazen brass tits, miracle mouth, that beautiful gash that spills and leaks and spills, silly giant thing, she, I, sweated amber and musk into beloved, dark. There's another you, too, only you're often massive. Your sweet skin must be awful and tiny when you stumble home. Multiple as we are, what languages of comfort could I spill? Heartache, even when we love?
Wow, nice, yeah.
I like to write a lot of forms, so everything from here on out is pretty much a form. So I'm going to read 2 sonnets that I call Alaska Sonnet 1 and 2. Alaska Sonnet 1. 3 woman reasons to pack up and leave. Instead of sun, death rose in the morning, or love swaggered in, or else left. It left. In Alaska, summer days become nights, become day again, a turning into. The Northlands become Texas and become barren, or else blossomed, a turning away from. Oaken doors, fluid, glaciers, permanent. One moment, I was a string of white pearls kept in his pocket, solid, precious, possessed. I was made of the land I lived in, then just a body. Woman was denser, denser in Ice Mountain blue. This is number 2. When the sun sets in Alaska, it does not dip under the tree line, but hovers there purpled. Near to, night shuffles but can't arrive. Still, tonight I can see it, that satellite. On the news they are calling it supermoon. Closer, oranged. It's been a month, Sean. Oh. Alaska is majestic. An orca and her child finned past the boat today. How's your daughter? Does she think I'll come home? Ocean wakes against the deck. I am a collector. Salt mostly. Scrape it off the rails. My cheeks. Yours. Your girls. Brine off the teeth. Whales. I'll start hoarding moons. Purple too.
Wow.
This is a sexy time poem. Without making it up to strangers. It's called Utopia, Texas. Glitter happens. I met you, tall stranger, under blue, green, gold, light flash night. Circled inside, swung our way past sunrise, pastel, and haze. Disco, baby. Your morning beard was all sparkles, so I loved you tender this time. Pausing to glance upon bodies we'd found again, mild hands lifted my chin, thumbed wide my mouth and spilt cool spring water in. Oh, holy rising, between us nothing, just silver astral flickering. Oh, grand undoing, man looks better like a planet.
Nice.
This one's called Sitting on a Yard Rug. It begins with a proverb. It's a rare fish that knows it swims in water. Moved it outside, the yard grass high and ribboned. Listen too closely, the world has an undervoice. Sweet as, lovesick as, tiny jasmine blooms from last season. Blankets of silence, and underneath it all, the buzz of growth, forward, pleased to know itself, utterly. Globes of brightness get caught in thicker air, willfully suspended. I might demand a mountain out of hill country and be loosed by grief, that the ocean be stilled and find myself nauseous against it. Okay, and this one is a triolet. It's really fun. I made up a lot of words. It's called 4:23 a.m. Even awake, the hours before sun screech live like a dream. Moonsoft lights the whole room. This liminal in-between tricky reach, even awake the hours. Before sun screech, my mouth lolls on despite me, goes on preaching. Far from empty this haze, day comes soon, even awake. The hours before sun screech live, like a dream moon, soft, lights the whole room. And then I have one more, and I'm really excited because I don't normally have the time to do this one. So in my obsession with syllable counting, I started to figure out what various forms I could do. So one thing that interested me was the Fibonacci sequence. So using syllables in the Fibonacci, this is my poem. It got up to 555 syllables before I was like, and I call it Fibonacci and Festivities. And there's a quote from Father John Misty. How was I supposed to know milk and honey flow just a couple states below? Okay. We could many be, not so distant, not just wires electric, not nihilistic greed machines in small dream wastelands. America has gone and laid herself to die. Tonight I emerged from a sudden rainstorm, wet with a young mad heartbreak, into the heart of something larger, beating, majestic and filled with warm lights, hot breath, and the animal joy we used to revel in, contained, embraced. We were the holders of everything, bodies of molecules, deep seas, and expanding. Some days we were given the choice to step up to the universe and demand its sweet fruit. It was the second summer in my life that never came, or arrived late with rage. Thunder gave way to drought heat. I had gambled my heart like a piece of plastic jewelry, and sure as moons will wane and grow blackness, I lost it. Years before this, I had fallen in love with an addict. Emerald eyes with an expensive habit. This summer, we went broke, then broken, took a job slinging cheap cons, masked as sweets, and grew complacent with the lack. The night I raised my fist to his angel face, I barely knew the woman I was living in. So from outside my body, I watched as I struggled my way out the door. Watched distant as Josh died, another baby soul quitted. I bended my way in and out of a bender, in and out of bars, in and out of the arms of handsome men or willing. Terrified of knowing myself in all the discontent. This, our hip and irony army. Awful to believe that I could contain this centrifuge, this war, these dead boys. Inside me, I had words like cunt, nigger, failure, hustle. I had words like ugly, used, slave, so I covered my walls and mirrors, sat back watching myself, waiting for the world to end, to collapse. Long enough that I became blackness. Long enough that I wore my own face no longer like skin, but like wood, like a mask. I held the void as much as I was held by it. Deck of cards, horizon deemed unholdable, dealers call bad luck, all of that. But how darkness, despite itself, breaks slowly. Light leaked into, out of my little mirrored world. Collapsed that damned August that suffered the way that some Februaries can. Someday, the universe will step up to us and demand our fruit. Globed, imperfect. You might, for instance, get invited to a party in a town called Utopia. Things like this are always very last minute. Chase it. I caught a ride straight into the eye of heavy storm, lost both my shoes before I even found the stage, lit all soft and warm. Steam was rising off the shoulders of my feather and neon strangers. Steam was rising off the shoulders of my tribe, my us, the we. One single spotlight, a bearded man calling himself father. He sang soft, silly, weeping, undeniably human, unrestrained by the fear of not being heard, understood, or worse still, not being loved. Utter faith in being received. The first step to leaving the cave is knowing others have gone before, yes. Survivors have harnessed flames in their fists and met the world, demanding to be listened to be seen, those who remind us again and again without apology that we create this intimacy, this party with its white light, heat, women spinning fire, the grinning fools beside me and the magicians bending instruments to their will, voices that cry, that come from a long time ago, that sex, that wrecked the dawn into hushes, this and growing, how we laughed on the speakers and took pictures of ourselves shameless, how after this we couldn't retreat to our separate boxes unchanged, the impossibility. We could many be, not so distant. We could take this broken gift given to us and reinvent it. Ask that limbs not be wires. Ask that you be born into the hands of ecstasy. Ask that you know the sisterhood of empty and full surrender. Sing a storm into sweat-dripped stars. Recognize ourselves in the ground as it makes space for wet and grows muddy, or death as it steals breath from bodies we have loved. We are nothing. We are infinite, capable of gentle miracles, heavy enough to pull orbit, fluid, expanding, nearly 14 billion years in the making. It is enough. It's plenty. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you very much.